So hello everyone. And so today on the live call, it is summertime and we are still building up our members. And so I think, a good thing to do is to just show people around here, if you're new to Skool, just to make sure that you know how to find everything, how everything works, and all of the rest of it. So let's start by sharing El Screeno. Okay, not that one, this one. Okay, and then let's go here. Okay, so we're sharing. So as you can see here, I'm also a member of Skool as well as having my own community. And so I have my own community here, Enjoy Madeira, and I have here 1, 2, 3 other schools that I'm a member of, and then I'm a schooler myself. So I can click here and hopefully switch. Here we go. So what happens is at the top, if you are in multiple, you can also click on here and you get the drop down of the schools that you're in. Okay, but then you've got the icon at the top, which also lets you know what one you're in. If you're feeling like you want a bit of entertainment, a bit of company, we've got the Skool cat here. And so basically, if you want to get some music here, I can do, let's see what the gangster is today. Okay, so he's got his glasses on and his cigar for that one, right? Or what else have we got? Hello, Scott. Let's see what Funky is today. Okay, that's pretty funky. He's got his afro. Okay, so that's happening. He's wagging his tail, he's liking that. Okay, so that's the funky. Let's see what Lofi is. Okay, bit more chilled vibe. He's got his headphones on, nodding along, right? So option number 3. Then I've got some metal. Let's see what's on the menu with that today. Got his little devil horns. Okay, dig in that one. Okay. And then this one is pretty fun as well, particularly if you've got ideas and you're thinking you want to open your own group on here and you want to put something together. The last one is your like cha-ching, like as if people are paying you and whatever. So that would be the sound here. Awesome. So that's it. So that is the cat, which is also like the Skool's official mascot. He is also the local DJ. And so, interestingly enough, all of the Skool communities, you can do like you would do with your G account, your Gmail account, or Google or whatever. You can choose light or dark mode. If I've got the light here, but if you prefer the dark one, you can just do that yourself in the settings. And then you're always going to have across the top the same tabs. And so in my community, if I click on classroom, Oh, this is the Skool one, sorry, but I can show you in my one after. In the Skool one here, there's Skool 101, which tells you how to get going with all of this. And also every week they do Skool news. And so you have in the Skool news, the old episodes if you want to go back. So Skool to me is kind of rivaling Apple when it comes to you're already a customer, you're already subscribed, and they just pretty much launching constant updates for you without asking for anything in return. So they're definitely getting a lot of brownie points and setting themselves apart for that. And then when you go to the calendar, you can see the events, you can click on them to see what's going on. And in the members tab, you can see who the members are. If you want to, you can message people if you click on chat here, and then you can see where they are on the map. And so look at that, all over the world. And then if there's a place that has a lot of people, it kind of, the more you zoom in and it pops, and then you can check out people that are in your town, and then you can message them or whatever, which is very, very cool. Leaderboards, obviously, because a lot of people are making a lot of money on here. So this will tell you, like, there's all different groups on here, different prizes people can win. And then, of course, the general about page where there's usually a video, photographs at the top, and then the description underneath. So all of the Skool ones have this. If we go back to Enjoy Madeira, we can run through the same tabs. So in the classroom, I've currently got the Portuguese language vault here, and I've got the Madeira foodie episodes, which I am a genuine fan of Madeira. I've been living here for 20 years, and it always surprises me how few people are finding it, found a way to kind of feel more integrated, learn the language better, hence the language lessons. And then, of course, being a foodie, I do like, always finding new, and then I've got my old favourites, but I'm definitely well versed in Portuguese and more specifically Madeiran cuisine, and so that's always pretty cool. On our calendar at the moment, we have the Portuguese live lesson and the coffee Q&A. I'm trying out at the moment having a free community, and then to give back more to people that are willing to contribute to the growth of this. And I do have some services that are kind of off of here because they're not digital products, they're me showing up in person and helping people integrate here, whether they need a home, whether they need a car, whether they need, to know where things are or to be connected with trusted experts, all that kind of thing. So it's good to just come in and hang out, and also you can connect with other members in here as well, and also help us shape where this is going. And then, of course, in the members, we're getting close to the first 10. We're on 9 at the minute. And so, again, you might already know someone, you might want to reach out to them. You can also invite people as well if you want to. There is a reward systems for when you bring in other people into Skool as well, which is great. And then, of course, our members are showing up all in the same place. And currently, actually, on the leaderboard, we've got a gentleman here that I know very well, who's been very active in my school, which I very much appreciate. And of course, hopefully you'll have already seen my about page, which, I got a couple of vids on here. And of course, I've recently updated this to kind of try and simplify it as well, because we don't want it to be like there's a ton of rules, right? We want it to be that this is a safe place where you can be happy and connect. And, ultimately, uninvited sales pitches, sarcastic and rude and nasty answers to innocent questions, all of that stuff, it's not something that's welcome. And certainly, it's always good to check in with people if they, something could be misunderstood or whatever. But repeat offenders with that kind of thing probably are not going to be able to have the privilege of staying in our group. And so I think have a think, if you've joined recently, about what's not happening in here yet that would make this like a place that you'd want to visit more regularly, and that would be more beneficial to you as someone that's either moving here or is already here and wants to integrate more. And also maybe have a think about some of the things that are potentially not, that you're not enjoying, could be on here, or it could be on other places that you show up on social media, because then obviously we can get shaping and all the rest of it. And so I think very often people do feel like they are a visitor or an outsider, and that can drag on for a long time when they're moving abroad. So feeling that you are like part of a community, you are a local. I mean, I wasn't born here, I'm not going to lie about that, but I was raised in the Algarve from a young age. And I've been in Madeira, knocking on 20 years, and I actually did marry a local. And so but I still wasn't born here. So I think, I try to go about my daily life here as to someone that is adding something rather than just taking away, So again, I think if I can help other people to feel better here and to, to enjoy Madeira more, that in itself is a bit of a contribution, because sometimes the stuff is here that they're looking for, they just haven't found it yet. And so yeah, that's it. And then what else can I tell you? When you actually join this community or any other, if there's something going on, there's going to be a red button at the top, so you can join into it. And at the minute, I've put the live ones to try and give opportunity to more exclusivity with the people that are having a monthly subscription. But as things go, I keep updating this. I'm always learning off the main Skool and what the other groups are doing, and then I'm also learning as I go. But in any case, there's always a 2-minute introduction video, which is probably way cooler than what I'm doing now, but I think it's important for you to get to know the hosts as well. And then if you do, you can create your own cover image, so that you've got your own little profile in here. If you want to, then you can also invite other people in. And then when it comes to writing posts, each group will have, you might have to be in a group and do so many likes and comments, and you may have to go up through stages before you can actually post anything. And then obviously the people running the groups may or may not allow it. And so this is something that isn't always available. It depends on what's going on. And then you can download the app onto your phone as well, which is great, because even if you're out and about, you can still jump on something. And so, yeah, this is a little quick zoom around what it's like in here. It's very easy to use. It's once you've got it on your phone as well, it's very interesting. So if you want to go into your settings, there's a big button there, and there is always, if there's other options for you and whatever, there tends to be big buttons so that you can have a look at that. So yeah, counting myself, we are 10 members, which I think in itself is an achievement. And then before we know it, we'll hopefully be, next landmark will be about 50 people, then 100, and then we'll go. And I am a member of other groups here as well. If you're a lady here, I recommend as well Madeira Gone Girl. They do a lot of little gatherings. They're not too big, and also the age ranges are all over the place, and the different interests. And so, you know, if you're looking you know, to kind of also meet up with people. In fact, some of the members in here are key members of that group. And then also, if you've not come across them, Madeira Friends, they used to be called Fitness Friends, actually have an actual hub based in the old town in Funchal. And again, the founders are friends of mine, and whether you want to work out, whether you want to contribute by petting you know, not stray dogs, captivated dogs, let's say, in the various associations, or maybe you want to try out a new cool brunch place. You know, there's literally no end. Maybe you want to do something on the business side, you know, brainstorm about that. There's always new things added, and again, you can choose to be a free member, or you can support them as well. So I'm personally a supporter. I love what they're doing, and you know, I recommend, if you haven't already done so, to check them out, because then again, it's all age ranges, doesn't matter where you're from, different things that you're into. There's pretty much something for everyone. And so that's all from me today. Wishing you a wonderful day, and as I say, going to keep going for the next month or so with how things are on here. And then, depending on feedback and what I'm actually learning, because I'm still a student of all this, keep updating it until, you know, people are saying it's amazing in here, please don't change anything, Paula. So that's pretty much all from me today. And obviously, occasionally I do interview other experts as well. So you will see, if you go through the feed, I recently interviewed Zach, who is a relocation expert, and we were discussing there some great tips as well. And so do look that up, and also stay tuned for other interviews that I'll be doing, and the rest of it. So yeah, tenham dia feliz e até a próxima. See you next time. So what we're going to do now is stop sharing and stop recording. There we go. Nice and easy.